Okay, we're going to talk about slope. When you see slope, you will also see the letter M. M is used to represent slope as a word, and also a numerical value of slope is represented by M. You'll see M equals M some number. Slope is really the steepness of a line. And I will explain what that means in 1 second. Just leave a little space and maybe draw this little slope tree, and we'll come back to that tree in a minute. But just keep in mind, slope is the steepness of a line. And what do I mean by steepness? Well, you have different examples of slope here, or 4 different lines, each with a different slope. That means they all have a different level of steepness. You can see this line, if you could imagine yourself sitting on the top of a hill here, and you can slide down this hill, with greater speed than you would be able to slide down this hill or even this hill. And that is because this is a steeper line, okay? So kind of more excitement is connected to a greater slope, okay? So this would be a steep slope. This would be less steep. This would be a greater slope also, and if you're starting down here, it would be harder to climb that slope. And again, this is a relatively flat slope, but still has a slope there. So the steepness is different in all of these lines. So let's look at 4 different kinds of slope. This is a positive slope, and the way you can remember positive slope is if you start on the left side of the line and you take your pencil, you will be going up on the line. So from left to right, you're following the line and you're going up. Up is positive. If you're feeling up and happy, you're feeling generally positive. That's how you can remember that. So a line that goes up is positive. And the opposite of that, or conversely, a line that goes down would be negative. So if you start on the left side of the line and you take your pencil and you follow that line, if your line is going down, that is a negative slope. And generally people that are feeling down sometimes are negative. So that's a good way to remember that. Here's a zero slope. A zero slope is just a horizontal line, a line that is straight across, flat. This line is y equals -3, and you know from our prior lessons that if you go down, if it says y equals -3, that means you're on the y line and you go down 1, 2, 3 to -3, you put your little marker there and your line would be a horizontal line straight across. That means anywhere you end up on this line, your y value will always be -3. And when that line is horizontal, just like that, that is called a zero slope, okay? And you can imagine, like, if you're sitting on this line and you're trying to slide down any direction, you won't go anywhere. So you're having kind of zero fun if your goal was to slide somewhere. So if you remember zero fun, zero slope, that might help you. Here, this is a vertical line. So if we went over and we saw this x equals 5, that means on the x line, go over to the +5, put your little marker there, and then for any value of x, every value of x will be a 5, okay? So you would just make your vertical line like that. And any vertical line is an undefined slope. That's what we call that, undefined. Okay, so horizontal was zero slope, and vertical was undefined, and negative is going down, positive is going up. And if we put all of these things together in a picture, we come back to this tree. And you can see in this tree that we have all these different slopes represented here. So here is a positive slope, because from left to right it's going up. And let's see, here is a negative slope, because from left to right now we're going down. Well, now here's that horizontal slope, and we said that was called a zero slope. the only one left is undefined. And we can see that right here, straight up and down vertical line is called undefined slope. Okay, so that little tree is kind of a good visual to help you remember the different types of slope. And that's it. Those are the 4 different types of slope.